Introduction: have you ever walked into a room and been struck by the uncanny sensation that you've experienced this exact moment before? The walls, the lighting, the arrangement of objects, all familiar in a way that defies explanation. Then, just as quickly as it arrived, the feeling dissolves, leaving you perplexed about the nature of your own memories. That enigmatic phenomenon is what we call déjà vu, literally, already seen in French. And today, we're venturing into its mysterious territory, along with its lesser-known counterpart, Jamais vu, where the utterly familiar suddenly feels foreign and strange. I'm Vinu, and welcome to our exploration of these perplexing glitches in our perception, windows into the hidden mechanisms of consciousness that continue to baffle neuroscientists and philosophers alike. Defining the phenomena déjà vu is that haunting sensation of familiarity in an objectively new situation. The feeling that you've already experienced what is currently happening, despite knowing rationally that this is impossible. Its mirror image, jamais vu, occurs when a familiar situation, perhaps a word you've written thousands of times, or a face you know intimately, suddenly feels alien and unfamiliar. The word loses meaning, the face becomes a collection of strange features. These phenomena were first documented scientifically in the late 19th century by French researcher Émile Boirac, who coined the term déjà vu in his book, The Psychology of the Future. What's particularly fascinating is how common these experiences are. Studies suggest that approximately 60 to 70% of people report experiencing déjà vu at least once in their lifetime, with higher prevalence among younger adults and those with higher education levels. Jamais vu is less commonly reported, but equally intriguing in what it reveals about our cognitive processing. Neurological basis to understand these phenomena, we must journey into the labyrinthine structures of the temporal lobe and hippocampus regions, critical for memory formation and retrieval. The prevailing hypothesis points to a temporary disconnection or misalignment in these neural pathways. During déjà vu, researchers believe the brain's familiarity assessment system activates independently from its factual memory system, creating that paradoxical sense of recognition without recollection. Neuroimaging studies have revealed increased activity in the rhinal cortex and amygdala during déjà vu episodes, structures involved in memory formation and emotional processing. This suggests that déjà vu may represent a momentary disjunction between emotion-based and fact-based memory systems. Recent research using intracranial electroencephalography has pinpointed specific electrical patterns in the medial temporal lobe that correlate with reported déjà vu experiences. These patterns suggest a form of memory prediction error, when the brain falsely signals recognition of something truly novel. Jamais vu, conversely, appears to involve temporary disruption in the brain's recognition pathways, potentially in the fusiform face area for facial recognition or in language processing centers for familiar words. Scientific theories explaining déjà vu. The scientific community has proposed several compelling theories to explain the enchanting mystery of déjà vu. The dual processing theory suggests that two normally synchronized cognitive processes, familiarity assessment and retrieval of contextual details, become momentarily desynchronized. When familiarity occurs without contextual retrieval, the result is that unsettling sense of recognition without recall. Another fascinating explanation is the memory formation glitch theory. Here, new sensory information may directly enter long-term memory, bypassing short-term memory entirely. This creates the illusion that the experience is being remembered rather than experienced for the first time. The neurological mismatch hypothesis proposes that déjà vu occurs when current sensory input partially matches a stored memory, activating a sense of familiarity without fully retrieving the original memory. Particularly intriguing is recent research from the University of St. Andrews using virtual reality to artificially induce déjà vu in laboratory settings. By exposing participants to scenes with subliminal similarities to previously viewed but forgotten scenes, researchers reliably triggered the déjà vu sensation, suggesting that subtle, unconscious memory cues may be at play in natural occurrences. Scientific theories explaining jamais vu, that baffling experience where the familiar becomes strange, shares interesting connections with a linguistic phenomenon called semantic satiation, when repeating a word many times causes it to temporarily lose meaning. Neurologically, Jamais appears to involve temporary disruption in recognition pathways. When you stare at a familiar word or object for too long, the neural networks responsible for recognition can experience a form of fatigue or inhibition, rendering the familiar suddenly unfamiliar. This phenomenon may represent a form of temporary dissociation, a brief disconnection between perceptual and memory systems in the brain. Intriguingly, Jamais experiences are sometimes reported preceding certain types of epileptic seizures, particularly those originating in the temporal lobe. This connection provides valuable insight into the neurological underpinnings of recognition and familiarity. Recent studies using transcranial magnetic stimulation have demonstrated that temporarily disrupting activity in specific regions of the temporal lobe can induce Jamais like experiences in healthy subjects, further evidence of the neurological basis of this perplexing phenomenon. Triggers and associated conditions: what awakens these cryptic states of consciousness? Research points to several potential triggers. Fatigue and stress frequently precede both déjà vu and Jamais experiences, suggesting that these phenomena may emerge when our brains operate under suboptimal conditions. Sleep deprivation particularly affects the temporal lobe's functioning, potentially explaining this connection. The link to epilepsy is especially revealing. Approximately 80% of patients with temporal lobe epilepsy report experiencing déjà vu before seizures. This association has been crucial in helping scientists locate the neuroanatomical origins of both the phenomenon and the seizures themselves. Certain medications, particularly those affecting dopaminergic systems, can increase déjà vu experiences. Conversely, some antipsychotic medications have been reported to induce Jamais symptoms. Interestingly, recreational substances that alter perception, such as cannabis and hallucinogens, can sometimes trigger these phenomena, offering another window into their neurochemical underpinnings. Beyond epilepsy, other conditions associated with increased déjà vu frequency include anxiety disorders, schizophrenia, and dissociative disorders, all suggesting disturbances in the same neural systems governing memory and perception. Cultural and psychological significance: throughout history, cultures worldwide have ascribed profound significance to déjà vu experiences. Ancient civilizations often interpreted them as glimpses of past lives or prophetic visions. Psychologically, these phenomena continue to fascinate us because they challenge our fundamental understanding of consciousness and memory. They create momentary rifts in our perception of reality, brief glimpses into the complex machinery of our minds. In literature and film, déjà vu often serves as a narrative device signaling parallel realities or time loops, most famously in The Matrix, where déjà vu indicates a glitch in the simulated reality. These cultural interpretations reveal our enduring fascination with these phenomena as potential gateways to understanding consciousness itself. Conclusion and future research: as we've explored, déjà vu and Jamais represent fascinating windows into the normally invisible processes of memory, recognition, and consciousness. These momentary glitches in our cognitive machinery reveal the complex, layered nature of how we perceive and process reality. Yet many questions remain unanswered. How exactly do these phenomena relate to false memories? Can studying them help us develop better treatments for memory disorders? Could artificial intelligence experience something analogous to déjà vu as its neural networks process information? Future research using advanced neuroimaging techniques and computational modeling promises to unveil more of these mysteries. As we continue to map the neural correlates of these experiences, we edge closer to understanding not just déjà vu and Jamais, but the fundamental nature of human consciousness itself. I leave you with this thought. Perhaps these strange phenomenological hiccups aren't glitches at all, but rather glimpses into the true workings of our minds, brief moments when the veil between conscious awareness and unconscious processing lifts, revealing the intricate machinery behind our seemingly seamless experience of reality.